in this video, we're going to explore two different date functions, EDATE and EOMONTH, with which we can actually do some date time calculations with the difference between two dates. So for this, to explain this, I have some dummy data of some sales transactions, as you can see here. And on the right hand side, I have a summary that I want to build. So here I have a start date. So let me just call this as start date here. Okay. And then I want an end date based on a certain number of months that have elapsed. So I've mentioned here it's 6 months. So based on this time duration, I want to find out how many units have been sold. So the formula for that has already been done using SUMIFs. So if you want to review how SUMIFs have been used, you can actually refer to the video where we have discussed this. Okay, perfect. So how do I get the exact date 6 months after the start date, right? So for that, you can use the EDATE function. So there you go. And the only parameters, arguments it takes is the start date and the total number of months. So start date is already specified here is 1st of July 2013 and comma, I'll provide the number of months. Perfect. There you go. Right. So based on my SUMIFs calculation, it was able to find out how many units have been sold between these two dates. So now this is exactly, this is the exact date 6 months after the start date. But let's say you don't want to find out the exact date after 6 months, but instead you want to find the end date for that given month. So end date for this given month will be 31st of Jan 2014. Right? So if you want to do that, no other changes required. Just change the name of the function to EOMONTH. Right? So let's do that. And if you notice, the arguments are exactly the same. Start date, comma, months. So we don't need to make any other changes to the formula. Now, as you can see, it is showing 31st of Jan 2014. Right? So that is the last date of that given month. 6 months from the start date. So even if I were to change the start date right now, let me make it to 10th of July 2013, the result does not change here because the resulting end date after 6 months would have been 10th of Jan 2014. But the end date of that month remains 31st of Jan. Right? So these are two different ways. So based on the scenario that you're trying to implement, you can either choose EDATE or EOMONTH. And once again, if you want to see how SUMIFs have been used, you can refer to the previous videos that we have shared regarding that particular concept.